What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. I was not going to upload a video at all today, but this is my favorite look at the market, and I had to talk about it. Topologic Bomber Dragon, at the beginning of the day, was a low of $25 on TCG Player, but laying in wait is Mr. Ankin Enterprise here, $12, and he has 22 of them. This just shows that if you are buying out cards, you're like, all right, it's towards $10, it's about time we can hike this up. Well, all those copies you just bought, if you don't have immediate copies to put back on market, they're going to take time to mail to you, and within that time, you often get competition, such as Gamma. He actually went towards $15, trying to make a sale versus these ridiculous listings, instead of, like, trying to post up at 22, 20, and hope that he only makes a sale because he's cheapest and people are freaking out, tries to make a sale. But here, the duelist that is prepared, the duelist that knew this is a good card, that it was worth more than its price point, and stockpiled them, is prepared on the horizon of the buyout. It just happened, and he's already jogging up there with the copies. And you see over here, the lowest of the original Code of the Duelist ones is $20 before it's $25 as well. eBay, the fallout was a lot faster. You see $10 ones pretty much everywhere. Duelists were completely ready. So if you are shopping for this, it's still available at $10. If you were freaking out at a chance not to get it, you can still get yours. This is just a completely hilarious look at the market. Now, something I have noticed is the Cyber Dragon stuff is really, really cheap from the Megatins. You do not have an excuse to just not pick up the cheaper stuff. Sam, I believe, just got 33rd at YCS Portland, but hasn't released his list because he thinks it's better and he can do better with it than that 33rd place. But I really do think you guys should have the cheaper stuff. It's just one top away from getting hyped despite its quantities, and I think it's better than its current price points, just what we were talking about. But looking around, Cyber Emergency is now a solid 30 instead of resting at that $25 mark, and Nashter is creeping up. Market price $5, starting to head towards $6. What did I say about these cards? And if you are shopping for your Cyber Dragon stuff, please use my TCG Player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra besides the cards you'd already be buying and supporting the channel directly. All you gotta do is click it. I appreciate it. But looking through the Cyber Dragon stuff, there's another card that comes to mind that's risen a lot through history, and that's Galaxy Soldier. It did get a recent release in Dual Power, but Dual Power is starting to age. Even though we have unlimited copies of Dual Power, it's starting to age, and it's a $30 price point wall, and in the original Battles of Legend, you could get this somewhat easier, and it still rose over time. So I think whether you're arguing for or against playing this card within Cyber Dragon, it's good to have access to. People will want to play set when they go for this thing, and I think it's a really amazing card. I also want to shout out all the Patreons real quick, or patrons. I always mess that up, on Patreon. There's a $20 point where you actually get stuff mailed to you by me, and I need to keep up with it more. You all have stuck with me while I make suggestions here or there, but I really need to keep up with this more, so thank you very much for backing me, and I'll work harder on that. I am aware of it, and I'll mail out everybody's rewards tomorrow that's in the 20 and up tier. Nibiru, the Primal Being, $8. So we've seen this fluctuate, 9, 8, 7. It originally was pre-selling for 5. All you people in the comment sections, oh, pre-sales are never worth it. Sometimes they are. It really is a gamble when you're going for cards that, like, if you're trying to get everything, but there's always going to be winners versus pre-sales. Nibiru is starting to be argued for main deck. I disagree with that notion, but I'm seeing it played a lot more online and in real life in the main deck. In my opinion, it's a side deck only card because you're going to run it into so many Sky Strikers. You're going to run into Altergeist, True Draco, Guru Control. So many decks in the meta, in this diverse meta, that I think he's a side deck card. But we also see people going to main Phantasme, such as David Flores in his winning deck. I think this brings up an interesting topic of, will there be enough combo decks in the meta despite its presence? Or will they really take a back seat to a deck like Sky Striker till it's hit on the next ban list? I personally think this is a side deck card, but let me know what you think in the comment section down below. None of that arguing of, oh, this isn't a format-changing card, it's a terrible card. Things will definitely change because of it, but the question is, how and how much? Another thing from the Megatins I'd be really concentrating on are the Incantation Supers, while they are just super cheap. See what I did there? Looking at the rares, they were still relatively expensive upon the release, and Chow Slime from Savage Strike, while you only really need one because you can pre-prep it and all that good stuff, I would consider having my copy of that sooner than later too when we see it rising in price. But the Super Incantations, they're just so freaking cheap for an engine that over time will age nicely. I don't think we'll really see more reprints of these. They're already in the super rare slot. They're so cheap right now. And I would just have access to your playsets of all of these. There's no reason not to have these unless you're really on a budget and you're really trying not to spend the money. Look, just the whole set for rituals summoning in general, there's going to be a time again where Konami goes like, all right, we'll bring back those blue cards, and you're coming off Necros just topping a YCS. Think about it. Apollosa's Buyout, aka its spike from the sale on TCG Player earlier last week, the 8% bonus bucks back, still hasn't really fallen out. It's up towards $58. So while there's been some slow fall, it's sticking up. And on eBay, it's starting to increase because of this. We see new motivated listers, 53, 54, but it does quickly go up. There's only those 2 copies before it starts to match very quickly. In my opinion, I think that Apollosa is going to carry Rising Rampage in price despite, having the prismatic higher options. They're still so rare to pull. And you see it actually coming back to 400 here. The market is speaking on those prismatics. But another thing within Rising Rampage that's starting to get forgotten are the Marincess cards. We do see Coral Anemone is next at 20, but then everything else, so cheap, and it feels so good. We're going to get the promos. That'll give a little buzz to Marincess, but the full release will be coming, and people will be going, well, are the Marincess going to be good enough? Are they hype enough? Are they going to be meta? Are they going to be good? And I think you're going to get that second wave of rumbling, just like how Spirals used to be. Is the new support going to be broken? Is it going to be good? And it rises towards the announcement of the Spirals and what's in there, and then just crashes afterwards when it was all trash. I think you will see Marincess, no matter what, rise because of the hype, and then we'll see how it does within regionals versus its consistency versus its issues within the deck. I think there's a lot of tricks that people need to learn against this deck, myself included. I don't know all the tricks, and I've seen people just get walloped by these as they are, but I think there's consistency issues right now, and it's only going to get better. It has a built-in searchable impermanence. It's crazy. And the final things I wanted to look at are in Savage Strike, mainly talking about Pot of Extravagance. I'm getting so many questions of, all right, John, it's meta season. Do I pick up my Pot of Extravagances now for my X stun deck or whatever deck they're using it in? And my answer is, for the amount of tops that have Pot of Extravagance in it versus its price, it doesn't inherently feel worth it to me. But it's an amazing freaking card. I think that if you're going to be in the market for one, you don't wait. You're going to be waiting all the way till probably March. I don't see this being in Dual Devastator. The last set that actually, had a real hype card was Legendary Collection Kaiba at the very end of the announcements with Ash Blossom. I don't think you're going to see, like, Pot of Extravagance. It would be awesome to see it in Dual Devastator. It is a generic card, but I don't think it's going to be in there already. I think they're going to wait till March or maybe even next Battles of Legend. I think it's going to be a long time till you see this, because look at the rest of the set past the top 4 cards. Complete and utterly down. So they want product that they've sold to maintain some value, for you to feel like you've gotten value out of it for the time that you're going to be playing it. And being in September now, waiting until March for a HoC, or waiting for a reprint announcement for this to fall in price, I think you're going to continue waiting, and there's value in the actual time you get to play your cards. How many OTS packs are you passing up by not using this card at locals? How many, Altergeist tops are you missing like DZ? I really think you should have this card if you're contemplating playing, and it's cheaper over here on eBay than using my TCG Player link down below. So get yourself the best deal on this card. And I've noticed on eBay, these sponsored posts, they jump higher and higher. So don't get tricked by them, especially while on my screen. You continue on and you see it does rise, but not as quickly as, oh man, the third copy is 80. So take your time, make your decisions wisely, and decide. Is this something I will play every week at locals? Will I get my value out of a playset? 210's a lot of money. And is it worth the risk of it being in March? Is my time worth it? Or should I just play another deck that's cheaper from the Megatins in the meantime that doesn't rely on a card like this? All that value is determined by you and your personal decisions. It comes down to what you have access to, what you want to spend money on. 210 can be a pretty much whole different deck depending on what you want to play at locals. But that's a conversation for another day. Thank you so much for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. And actually, I just wanted to say, I've never seen a race so close, but it seems Ghost Raigeki has won for the giveaway. It'll be sometime this month. I'll surprise you with when. And the Charmer Sleeves, a very close second, so I'll probably include it in next month's giveaway options as well. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and I appreciate it so much.